All right, thanks for agreeing to answer my very short question. I'm interested to hear people's opinion about what a community is for them. Okay?
Community for me, when I think of that word, I think of vibrant, and I think of reflective of the region that we live in. I think of participation and action. Those are the types of things that come to mind when I think of community, a sense of ownership, you know. For me, York Region is my community. You know, I feel a real strong, proud connection to this region. And it comes from engagement. It comes from driving through our little neighborhoods, you know, talking to people, hearing about lived experiences. It comes from talking to youth and listening to them wanting to give back to community, talking to people who are in marginalized communities who are also wanting their voice represented, and talking to some real leaders, whether it's from the business sector or from the nonprofit sector, from governments and so on, saying we want to improve our community, you know. So for me, community is something alive and magical, you know, that people, where people see themselves. It's a very organic, I think, you know, a process, you know, and I'm really excited by it, you know, that word, and I feel a real sense that, a sense of possibility when I hear that word, because it really, you know, goes to, you know, finding creative solutions. Let's come together. You know, I come from a country that was built on the idea of Harambee, Kenya, you know, which is the country that I lived in before Canada became my home. Harambee was a sense of community building, you know, let's all come together and make our place better. And so for me, that's community. You know, community is a word that brings people together.
Wow. That's great.
It's very powerful.
It sure is coming across. Is there any elements in our area that you'd like to see to improve or add to that community? You gave such a positive picture of it, but is there pieces that you think could be, I don't know, changed or improved upon?
I think that the part of, you know, community work that I would like to see enhanced. I don't know if it would be fair to say that it isn't being done, but I would like to see it enhanced, is to actually have people who have lived experience, and people who actually have the lived knowledge, you know, the first-hand knowledge of you know, trauma, or, you know, of having lived with discrimination, or, you know, disability, or any of those things, you know, whether they're homeless, or, you know, I'd like to see more engagement at that level, you know. I think that would really make a true difference to the way we deliver services, whatever services they may be, you know, to have that lens always there in some way, shape, or form, and not in a tokenistic way, but in a very meaningful way, so that when we go out there with you know, service delivery models, they really reflect the voice and the need and the strengths of the people that we are trying to, you know, to serve, you know. And whether that is from a, you know, governance perspective, or whether it is you know, the relevancy of a small, you know, mom and pop establishment, you know, I think that's the key, is to always remain relevant, and to always think about outside of self to, you know, the larger good of our communities. And I think that could be enhanced, you know. Building partnerships is something that we can do better, you know. Working in silos is no longer, you know, a possibility if we want to build vibrant communities, and using tools like technology, that again is community. That's the new type of community, I think. Our youth thrive on this kind of community.
Sure.
So I think that's the way of the future. It has always been embedded, I think, in Canadian culture and ethos, and I think we need to just remember that as we move forward.
Okay. Thanks very much, Radha.
Thank you.
Very good.